breaking news, quarterback Carson Beck has committed to the Miami Hurricanes. So Carson Beck, former Georgia quarterback, initially was going to the NFL draft. Then I think he must have read some news clippings that he absolutely sucks and decided, you know what, maybe I should go back to college. And now he is going, or has committed, to the University of Miami, where just so happens his girlfriend, Hanna Cavinder, plays basketball. Also, Beck is from Florida, but I'm sure Hanna has something to do with the transfer. So let's go ahead and listen to the report. We'll talk about what this means for college football.
Breaking news from college football. Former Georgia quarterback Carson Beck has committed to Miami. It did not take long for Beck to pick the Hurricanes. He entered the transfer portal only yesterday. He'll replace Cam Ward in Coral Gables, with Ward a likely top 10 pick in the NFL draft. Beck has spent the last 5 years in Athens, starting in each of the last 2 seasons. He led Georgia to the SEC championship, but suffered a season-ending elbow injury in that game and missed the college football playoff loss to Notre Dame. Let's welcome in our college football insider, Matt Zenitz. And Matt, it was anticipated this would wrap up fairly quickly when he entered the portal with a do not contact tag, but how did this all come about?
So Carson's camp, although 24 hours ago informed Kirby Smart in Georgia that Carson would be entering the portal. He officially pops up in the portal last night, like you mentioned, with the do not contact tag. And now, right around lunchtime today, within 24 hours of him notifying Georgia of his intent to enter the portal, already has found his next team and is set to join Mario Cristobal and company down in Miami.
The other side of this, too, is Carson Beck had essentially declared for the NFL draft. We thought he was done with college football, so now he...
So the main thing I wanted to talk about was this alleged $4 million. So apparently this is a $4 million 1-year NIL contract deal, however you want to phrase it, for Carson Beck. That is insane. I mean, that is a crazy amount of money. That is, again, like, guys, no hate, but he was not great this year. He is coming off of an injury. And the fact that Miami's just tossing $4 million at him to come play for 1 season is absolutely insane. We've heard that Quinn Ewers may be rethinking going into the draft because he could fetch as much as $6 million in the transfer portal. Why the hell would any of these players go to the NFL? Why just pick some random school, go play there, chill on a college campus, you're the guy, and make more money than you would make in the pros? Unless you are a top 5 pick, unless you are a top 10 pick, I would never leave college. I mean, you could go to, Miami is very similar to this, but you could go to USC or Miami or a team with, some pressures, but I don't think anyone is really expecting them to win national championships, and just go toss the ball around, live your life, date your Instagram famous girlfriend who plays on the basketball team in the middle of Miami, in downtown Miami, with $4 million in the bank. Let's take a look at some of the NFL contracts. So if we look at the quarterback contracts, now look at the average a year, because he's making $4 million this year. So he's somewhere in the neighborhood of Joe Flacco, Bo Nix, he's Mac Jones, Kenny Pickett, Jimmy Garoppolo, making more than all these guys. So yeah, why would you not just stay? Just chill, just stay, take it easy, whatever. And this is happening, like the Quinn Ewers $6 million. You're making like Michael Penix money, J.J. McCarthy money. You are already making your first contract. You are already there. I mean, a lot of players in the NFL are hoping to get to the $4 million, $6 million a year contract. The fact that you're already playing for you're already in an NFL contract basically, without the NFL structure and schedule and the pressures and all of that. I mean, the college landscape is just so crazy. It is insane. And if you do this for a couple of years, I have said this a million times, but Beck is a whatever level player who's playing on a 1-year situation. Imagine he is Johnny Manziel. Imagine he is Tim Tebow. Imagine he is a Heisman winning freshman or a sophomore. Imagine he is, a superstar, celebrity level player, and you can sign these kind of deals. If Quinn Ewers and Carson Beck's getting $6 million and $4 million, imagine if you're coming off of a Johnny Manziel Heisman winning season and you're going into your sophomore year, junior year, and you've got multiple years of this. It is not out of the question that we could see college quarterbacks make $10 million a year for 3 to 4 years. And all of a sudden then, if you're a 21-year-old and you've made $30-40 million strictly in NIL, it's not even counting like what, your actual like celebrity, what your actual channels and profile and advertise and all that, not even counting that, but you just made $30-40 million. Besides just furthering your career and the love of the game and all that, what the hell do you need the NFL for? I mean, unless you really just want to be the best.
Comes back to college football, and you have some news or some information regarding his draft status and what NFL scouts think about this decision. What are they telling you?
Well, first of all, Carson declared for the draft, but he never officially signed
what is it? You got to sign an agent?
Standard representation agreement with an agent, which left him open to change his mind and return to college. And ultimately, based on feedback that he got, thought that this was the best direction to go in terms of returning to college for another year, which I can tell you, based on my communication with NFL scouts, they definitely agree with this decision. So Carson, pre-injury, was probably somewhere in the early day 3-ish type range. I talked to 4 separate NFL scouting sources yesterday. The high end of the feedback that I got was fringe day 2. The more consistent feedback was more in the day 3 range, and had one Southeast area scout even say that it was day 3 prior to the injury that he suffered in the SEC title game, and that with the injury, that would bump him back even further on day 3, which led to just the consensus among scouts being that this was a no-brainer of a decision for him.
Yeah, hell yeah. Imagine the conversation like, hey, man, here's your options. You can either go get drafted in the 5th round and make whatever, $500,000 a year, try and fight for your life to even make a roster, be a third string practice squad level player, or you can make $4 million next year and go to Miami. What? Like, I just wish I could see Carson Beck's face whenever he heard that news. Like, I mean, option A is way worse than option B.
To return to college for another year, not only have a chance to improve his stock after an up and down season at Georgia, but he's also going to be in line, without knowing the exact money numbers as of yet, at Miami, to make probably at least a few $1 million this year, and more than he would have made as an NFL rookie.
And his projection to the 3rd round is a steep drop from what we anticipated heading into this season, when some were arguing that he might be the number 1 overall pick in the 2020.
It's crazy how this is shifting. Like she said that, like, Drew Aller is the same thing. Like, I heard Drew Aller, a lot of people were saying Drew Aller could easily be a 1st overall type pick, top 5, whatever. Then the season happens. Then we start seeing him play. And now by the end of the season, it's like, this guy is absolutely horrible. I mean, I'm filming this after the Penn State Notre Dame game. You watch Drew Aller, it's like, this 1st round, this guy shouldn't even be starting on Penn State. But I guarantee you, Drew Aller would fetch a couple $1 million to go play at who the hell knows where, to go play at, Texas A&M or something. And that's just insane. That is absolutely insane that the security blanket for these quarterbacks just to exist is this high. I mean, these are huge numbers for relatively whatever players.
NFL draft, but we'll head back to college football to increase that stock once again. There is the looming elbow injury. Miami fans want to know if they're going to have their star quarterback to start next season. So what's the prognosis with his recovery there?
Current expectation is that he'll be able to resume throwing in the spring. We'll see how he progresses from there, but he is anticipated to be available for next season. And this is obviously a significant injury Yeah, I'm sure people that are baseball fans are very much familiar with UCL injuries, and this is Carson's throwing elbow. So I'm sure Miami will be very cautious working him back into just the full swing of things. But the current belief is that it should be able to resume throwing come springtime.
All right, Matt Zenitz on this breaking news. Carson Beck will sign with Miami out of the transfer portal. You can check out more of his work on 24/7.
I mean, again, the fear is that you get a player who plays 4 years for 4 different schools, and it's a bidding war every single year, and he ends up making 30, 40, 45 million dollars. And then, what are you going to do? I don't think this is good for the sport. I mean, I just don't think it's good for the sport that these kind of contracts are out there, that these players are getting these contracts, that they're relatively ungoverned. And I don't know, it just seems like a slippery slope. It really does. And there's got to be something. There's got to be something coming to regulate what's going on here. I mean, these are, not high-level players. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Like, there's not high-level players signing insane deals. And I fear we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. But crazy news coming out of Miami. $4 million, Carson Beck to the U. I don't know. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? What do you think about this bit of business for Miami? Great business for Carson Beck. It's a good day to be Carson Beck, I tell you that much. This is a hell of a golden parachute that he just got. And I'm sure he's not the first and he's not the last that we'll hear blank player turns down going into the 6th round in order to make $27 million to play at Illinois. So let me know what you think. If you're a college football fan, do you like it? Does it matter? Is it ruining the sport? Or is it just business? Let me know. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.